Work, it's one of the first places that disability exposes how little the world is built for sick bodies. Because work isn't just about skill or effort or wanting it badly enough. It's about whether your body can show up on someone else's schedule every day without fail. When you live with chronic illness, work becomes a constant negotiation. It's not just with your employer, but it's with your own body. You're not asking, can I do this job? What you're asking is, can I do it consistently enough to be believed? People, they love to say things like, everyone gets tired, or we're all stressed. But realistically, there's a difference between being tired and being unreliable in ways you can't control. There's a difference between stress and a body that shuts down completely without warning. Chronic illness, it doesn't care about deadlines. It doesn't. It doesn't care about productivity metrics. It doesn't care about attendance policies. It doesn't care how badly you need that paycheck. You can want to work more than anything and still be stopped by a body that just refuses to cooperate. And then comes the guilt. Calling out sick again. Needing accommodations again. Watching co-workers quietly resent the flexibility that you didn't ask for. You start apologizing for things that aren't your fault. You start working through the pain just to prove that you yourself are trying. There's a special kind of fear that comes with employment when you are a disabled person. The fear of being seen as a liability. The fear of being replaced. The fear that one bad flare will undo years of effort. You learn to hide your symptoms, to downplay your pain, to push past limits that you know you shouldn't cross. And when accommodations, they're offered to you, they often come with strings. Prove you're sick enough. Prove that you're not taking advantage. Prove that you are still worth keeping. Your humanity becomes something that you have to justify. For people who can't work traditional jobs at all, the judgment is even louder. You're labeled as unmotivated, lazy, a drain. People ask what you used to do, like your value exists only in the past tense. But what no one actually talks about is the grief of wanting to work and not being able to. The grief of having skills, ambition, creativity, and nowhere safe to actually put them. The grief of watching your identity shrink to whatever your body can tolerate that week. And you still adapt. You find new ways to contribute, new definitions of success, new measures of worth. Not because it's empowering, but because survival demands it of you. If you live with chronic illness or disability and you yourself are trying to work, you are not failing the system. The system, it's failing you. Your body is not a moral flaw. Your limitations are not a lack of effort. You deserve the flexibility without the punishment, support without the suspicion, dignity without conditions. And if you're an employer, a co-worker, or someone with power, believe people when they tell you that they need these conditions, these accommodations. Productivity is not the same thing as value. Work shouldn't cost someone their health. And no one should have to choose between survival and stability. If this resonates, share it. because too many people are silently breaking themselves, just trying to earn a place in a world that refuses to bend. And they deserve better.